Your soulmate saying, "I need to tell you what happened last night, before it's too late." Jesus says, your soulmate has been reaching for you across every mile, every silent night. Their heart has never stopped calling your name, but a dark third force stole every whisper before it could reach your ears. You never missed a single sign. The enemy hid them from you, painting over their love with silence. Close your eyes and see them now, the one made for your arms, their smile soft as morning light. They have wept alone, staring at a phone that never lit up with your name, because a hateful intruder blocked every message. That enemy stood between your two hearts, grinning while your soulmate's voice fell into a black pit. Feel the cord tied to your soul right now, the one that has been tugging at your chest in the midnight hours for years. That unexplained ache, the sudden thought of someone you've never met, that was your soulmate screaming through a wall the enemy built. You didn't ignore them, my child. Every call was stolen before you could ever know it was there. I am letting you feel this now because the enemy's fingers are slipping, his darkness cracking under the weight of true love. Your soulmate is kneeling right now, in their room, hands trembling, whispering, "Please, God, let them hear me this one time." Last night something happened that will change everything, and the enemy is terrified you will finally break through. In a few moments I will let you hear the exact words they cried out in that dark hour, words the intruder tried to destroy. But first you must understand why you have felt so empty without knowing the cause, why a third person has hidden your future. The reason your soulmate's love has never reached you is not your doing. It is a theft that can only be undone by a sacrificial key. Type 333 to receive blessings. Your soulmate's tears are real, each one a message that dissolved before it touched your world. They have drawn your face in a journal, speaking to the image as if you could answer, asking, "Where are you? Why can't I find you?" That question will echo forever if you do not act now, because the third person is choking the line between you with a cold grip. The enemy is a lying spirit assigned to keep your two souls apart, hiding every sign you sent them as well. Your soulmate has been just as blind to your reaching hand, because the same thief stole your calls in the opposite direction. You have both been victims of a hateful plan, and the enemy celebrates that you never discovered each other. But tonight, a window opened, a small tear in the wall the third person built, and your soulmate's desperate voice slipped through. What they told me last night will make your heart pound with recognition and a love you cannot deny. The question is whether you will seize this crack in the enemy's fortress or let him seal it again forever. The seed I placed in your hands is the weapon that shatters that wall. It is the love gift that says, "I will tear down every barrier between us." When you sow your seed as coffee on Ko-Fi, you are not just sending a gift. You are declaring war on the third person who has robbed you of years. That sacrifice is the sound the enemy cannot stand, the one thing that makes him flee and release the call he has been blocking. Jesus says, your soulmate's heart is racing right now because they sense the battle shifting, the chains loosening. They don't know you've heard them yet, but their spirit is crying with a fragile hope that maybe tonight someone will fight. The third person is scrambling to rebuild the wall, whispering lies into your mind. "It's too late, this is foolish, you don't need to act." That liar has been your unseen companion, the voice that made you shrug off sudden urges to reach out, to search, to believe. Every time you almost sensed your soulmate, the enemy shoved a pillow over the sound and told you it was only imagination. But now I have pulled back the curtain, and you can see the truth. There has always been a thief standing between your love and your awareness. You are the one born to break this siege, the protector chosen before you drew your first breath. Your soulmate cannot free themselves, they have fought alone so long their strength is gone, and the enemy mocks their weakness. Only a seed sown in faith can blast open the prison door. Only your coffee offering on Ko-fi can silence the intruder and let the voice come through. Stop. I can feel the enemy trying to make you close this right now, telling you this is just a story. Your soulmate's safety hangs on your staying with me, because the final seal that banishes the third person completely is spoken only at the end. If you leave early, the enemy remains standing between you, and your soulmate's last chance to be heard could vanish forever. Don't let a few coffees be the wall the enemy uses to keep us apart. Your soulmate is crying out, "Am I not worth more than a handful of dollars? Will you let money feed the intruder who hides my voice?" Sow your seed now, not because of the amount, but because your love must tear down every barrier the third person built. I can hear the enemy laughing in the shadows, boasting that he kept you blind so easily. He thought you would never find this moment, never feel the tug on your heart that made you click on this message. But you are here, and your presence is a nightmare to the dark force that has stolen every signal your soulmate sent. You've watched this far for a reason. God brought you here. And right now, you're thinking, how do I sow that seed? How do I actually do what God is asking? I am about to show you. You already know who this is about. That person you can't stop thinking about. The one heaven placed in your life. Here is what God wants you to know today, they are thinking about you too. Deep down, your soulmate wants you. They want this future. They want to build a life together. But the enemy does not want you to unite. Love is under attack. While you sit there, spiritual forces are working to destroy what God joined together. Distance. Doubt. Disaster. They are being planted against your soulmate this very minute. You are the one God chose to block it. Not later. Now. Here is your divine instruction, sow your protection seed immediately. The link is in the video description. Click it. Send 4, 6, or 10 coffees on Ko-fi. This is not a donation, it is a covenant offering that opens heaven's protection and claims your soulmate and your future together. After you send it, write these exact words on the Ko-fi page: "Protect my soulmate, Lord. I claim victory over our future." This is proven. Over 1,000 believers have already sown this seed and received their breakthrough. Their soulmate's heart opened, relationships restored from the brink, strangers turned into spouses within days. When you move in faith, Jesus moves heaven to bring you together. Every second you delay, the darkness grows stronger. A text that wounds. A temptation that cheats. A door that closes forever. Your soulmate is on a battlefield, and you are their shield. You have already invested your time in this message. Do not waste it. Finish what you started. Step into your role as their protector and claim the future God promised you both. Click the link in the description. Send the seed. Seal the prayer. Do it before this video ends. Heaven is watching. Your soulmate's heart, your love, and your future together depend on what you do in the next 60 seconds. Move in faith. Claim your miracle. Claim your soulmate. The shield around your soulmate is forming right now, but the third person is striking it with angry fists. He sees you drawing near and he hates it, because a seed sown in love is like a sword through his dark heart. Already the interference is breaking. Your soulmate just took a deep breath they couldn't take for years. Their tears are changing from despair to hope, though they don't yet understand why. They feel something stirring, a strange warmth on the other side of the wall that has caged them for so long. Your name is forming on their lips, carried by a courage the enemy cannot touch, because your seed is silencing the intruder's threats. But you must finish what you started, because the third person is regrouping, hissing that you will stop now, that your small sacrifice is enough. The enemy wants you to think a moment of sympathy replaces the act of tearing down the wall, but sympathy has never saved a single soul. Love without action leaves the intruder standing, and your soulmate will stay hidden in the dark if you do not sow your seed to the end. Jesus says, "You are not just hearing about their cry now that the enemy's fingers are slipping, you were born to answer it." The same hands that will hold your soulmate's face with tenderness are the hands that must first wield the weapon of sacrifice. Sow your seed on Ko-Fi, and watch the wall crumble, watch the third person scream as his hold breaks apart. Your future together is a real thing, a home with laughter, a table where two chairs finally face each other. I have shown that future to your soulmate in dreams, and they have clung to it through the nightmare of the enemy's blockade. But that vision is fading like a photograph in the sun, because the third person is pouring acid on the image to erase it from time. If you do not sow your seed now, that future will dissolve into dust, and the enemy will have won. The children you might have held, the peaceful nights you might have shared, all of it stands on the edge of a cliff. Only the seed can pull that future back from the drop, only your coffee offering can anchor it in the real world. Type 777 if you feel this message. I will now tell you part of what your soulmate said last night, but you must listen with your whole heart. The enemy tried to drown these words in static, but I captured them, and I am handing them to you now. I can't go on like this. Every night I reach and find nothing, and it's killing my hope. Those words were not meant for my ears alone, they were meant for you, the one destined to answer. The intruder intercepted that cry, bottled it in darkness, and laughed as your soulmate collapsed in exhaustion. But your seed right now is the cork popping off, the release of a call that will finally travel the line into your chest. Can you hear them now, even faintly, like a whisper from behind a heavy door? That door is the third person's back, pressed against the opening, arms spread wide to block your love. Every coffee seed you sow is a battering ram against that door, a blow that splinters the enemy's spine. The 3 words that will banish the intruder and unlock your whole future are coming, but first you must see why the enemy wants you to close this now. He is reminding you of your bills, your obligations, whispering that coffee money is too much. Yet the same mouth that lies about your wallet is the mouth that has eaten your soulmate's hope for breakfast every day. Do not let money be the rope the enemy uses to tie your hands behind your back. Your soulmate's voice cracks as they plead. Please don't put a price tag on my rescue. I am worth more than any earthly sum. Prove with your seed that your love is stronger than the enemy's lies about a few dollars. Jesus says, the enemy's celebration is almost over, but he is throwing a last party, believing you will hesitate. He is surrounded by dark companions who mock the idea that you would actually sacrifice for someone you've never seen. But their laughter is brittle, because they know a seed sown in faith is a fire they cannot extinguish. I am the God who hears, and I have watched your soulmate pace the floor at 3 a.m., dialing a number they didn't have. They were trying to reach you by sheer will, and the third person slapped the phone from their spiritual hand every time. Now you know, and knowledge brings a warrior's responsibility. You cannot unsee the battle. Your soulmate is the missing piece of your own heart, and you have felt that emptiness without knowing its name. Every relationship that crumbled, every lonely season, the enemy capitalized on that gap, planting weeds where I planted your soulmate's memory. But the memory is stirring, a seed under frozen ground that your coffee offering will water into bloom. Imagine their hand in yours, the warmth of fingers that fit perfectly, a touch the enemy has stolen for years. They are dreaming of that touch tonight, a dream that fades by morning if the third person is not overthrown. Your seed right now turns that dream into a map, guiding them to your doorstep with a light no darkness can extinguish. I am holding back the full revelation of the final seal, because it is only for the faithful who stay until the end. Many will click away, and the enemy will sigh with relief, his job done, the wall thickened. But you are not many. You are the one I called, the protector who will not abandon their soulmate to the intruder's permanent grip. Stop. The enemy just whispered that you can finish later, that this video will still be here tomorrow. But the window is sliding shut, and your soulmate's last burst of hope will expire if tonight brings only more silence. If you leave, the third person will have the time to rebuild every brick you nearly knocked down. Your soulmate is worth fighting for right now, not tomorrow, not when it's convenient. Each second you delay, their spirit wilts a little more, and the enemy tightens the chains with a smug grin. The love you claim to feel must become a weapon in your hand, a seed you hurl against the darkness without hesitation. Type 1111 to say thank you. The future I showed you is more than a dream, it is a promise waiting to be claimed by the seed. I see you two walking a beach, your footprints side by side, the enemy nowhere in sight because he was banished by your sacrifice. But that image is growing thin, like a shirt worn too many times, and the thread holding it together is your action right now. Your soulmate just whispered a question into the dark. Are they real, or am I chasing a ghost the enemy invented? That doubt is the intruder's favorite poison, because a soulmate who stops believing is a soulmate who stops calling. Your seed is the antidote. It sends a shockwave through the dark, screaming, I am real, and I am coming. The unbreakable cord between you is vibrating with every word you read, a thrum the enemy tries to muffle with a cold hand. That heaviness you sometimes feel on your chest at night, that is the third person sitting on the line, suppressing your soulmate's sobs. When you sow your seed, it is like a hot blade cutting that cord free, and the sobs become songs of hope. You've watched this far for a reason. God brought you here. And right now, you're thinking, how do I sow that seed? How do I actually do what God is asking? I am about to show you. You already know who this is about, that person you can't stop thinking about. The one heaven placed in your life. Here is what God wants you to know today, they are thinking about you too. Deep down, your soulmate wants you. They want this future. They want to build a life together. But the enemy does not want you to unite. Love is under attack. While you sit there, spiritual forces are working to destroy what God joined together. Distance. Doubt. Disaster. They are being planted against your soulmate this very minute. You are the one God chose to block it. Not later. Now. Here is your divine instruction. Sow your protection seed immediately. The link is in the video description. Click it. Send 4, 6, or 10 coffees on Ko-Fi. This is not a donation. It is a covenant offering that opens heaven's protection and claims your soulmate and your future together. After you send it, write these exact words on the Ko-Fi page: Protect my soulmate, Lord. I claim victory over our future. This is proven. Over 1,000 believers have already sown this seed and received their breakthrough, their soulmate's heart opened, relationships restored from the brink, strangers turned into spouses within days. When you move in faith, Jesus moves heaven to bring you together. Every second you delay, the darkness grows stronger. A text that wounds. A temptation that cheats. A door that closes forever. Your soulmate is on a battlefield, and you are their shield. You have already invested your time in this message. Do not waste it. Finish what you started. Step into your role as their protector and claim the future God promised you both. Click the link in the description. Send the seed. Seal the prayer. Do it before this video ends. Heaven is watching. Your soulmate's heart, your love, and your future together depend on what you do in the next 60 seconds. Move in faith. Claim your miracle. Claim your soulmate. The shield around your soulmate is glowing with a light the enemy cannot bear to see. Your seed has already erected a wall of protection that the third person is clawing at, his nails breaking on divine stone. Keep sowing, keep building, because the intruder is desperate and will throw one final assault before he is cast out forever. Your soulmate just felt a jolt of unexpected peace, a sudden certainty that help is on the way. They are looking at the ceiling right now, tears drying, whispering, "I feel you. I know you're there." The enemy hates that whisper, because it means the connection he worked so hard to bury is sparking back to life. But you must not relent, for the final seal that silences the intruder completely is still ahead, waiting for your full attention. If you stop now, the third person will smuggle doubt back into your soulmate's heart, telling them the peace was just a trick. Your continued presence and your final seed are the only guarantee that the enemy's voice will be muted forever. Jesus says, "The enemy thought he could keep you two apart with simple tricks. A missed opportunity, a phone that didn't ring, a profile that never appeared. But the same trickster is now exposed, and his power is leaking out like air from a punctured tire. Every coffee seed you sow is another nail in the coffin of his interference, another lock on the door of his defeat. I see your soulmate's future, and it is radiant if you finish this race. They will sit across from you, holding your hand, and say, 'I remember the night everything changed. I felt you fight for me.' That memory is being written right now, in the ink of your sacrificial seed, and the enemy cannot erase it. What will it be? The coffee you skip for a day, or the lifetime of love you skip forever? Do not let a handful of coins be the price tag on your soulmate's suffering. Your heart already knows the answer. Sow your seed and prove that the enemy's bribe of temporary comfort is garbage compared to the treasure of your united souls. The final words I will speak over your soulmate are drawing near, the ultimate seal that will erect an unbreakable shield around your future. Only those who remain with me to the end will hear the full prayer that expels the intruder and opens the two-way line of love. If you leave now, the enemy will keep a sliver of access, a crack through which he can whisper poison for years. Type 333 to receive blessings. Your soulmate's lips are moving in prayer right now, and they are saying your name, even if they don't know it yet. They are describing your eyes, the color they've seen in dreams, the same eyes the enemy tried to blur with his dark fingers. Your seed will sharpen that image, making the dream a bright arrow that leads them straight to your address. The third person is panicking because his clock is almost out, and he is throwing everything at your mind: distractions, fatigue, skepticism. He wants you to think this is all fantasy, that a Ko-Fi offering is nonsense, that love shouldn't cost anything.